Okay, this is Metal Steve again, and today we have I have a Mandela effect list. Huge. Apparently, first, the old time radio show Duffy's Tavern, first of all, existed in the 40s, known as Duffy's. Not in my past. Number two, Fuse Iced Tea is now sold smack dab in the Coke machines at the Walmart. Smack dab between Coke and Diet Coke. Goes Coca-Cola, Fuse, Diet Coke. 100% no. That is the exit I leave out of at least 75% of the time, and I have been known to stop at that machine because they are 50 cents a can, the same as the Pepsis. There has been no Fuse. Come up today, Fuse. I haven't heard of Fuse before that. I might have missed it, but I can guarantee you that if I had seen it there between Coke and Diet Coke, I remember it. It was like a restaurant. Coke, Diet Coke, Sprite. There was nothing between the Coke and Diet Coke. Now Fuse, bang, slap in the middle between Coke and Diet Coke. You don't believe me? It's the West Norriton Walmart. It's right there. Bang, slap. The label, the colors on the label for the Fuse look somehow more vibrant than the rest of the labels on the machine. Now Fuse might always been there and I missed it, but it wasn't but a slap between Coke and Diet Coke last week. Okay, another one. Another one. Pep milk or something like that. I couldn't even I couldn't even hear it clearly. Fibber McGee and Molly, brought to you by something that sounded like pep milk. Some kind of powdered milk. No, they were Johnson's Wax. Come to look at Johnson's Wax, it's Johnson Wax now. Look at the British and South African programs that are sponsored by Johnson's Wax. It still says Johnson's Wax. Like there was a couple of things on Beyond Midnight from South Africa. Johnson's Wax. Johnson's Car Wax, to be exact. Nope. So now... But apparently the floor stuff is now known as Johnson Wax. Which sounds a little off. I'm not even going into it. But that's off. Also, I've now seen online people who listen to the show, The Great Gildersleeve, all the time refer to it as The Great Gildersleeves with an S at the end. I've even seen The Great Gildersleeves on MP3s, on lower quality MP3s now. And don't even get me started about the Mel Blanc show. Every so often there's a gag in there that wouldn't have exactly passed under the radar. I mean, it's hilarious, but I don't think it would have passed under the good old fashioned 1948 type radar. 1947, 1948 type radar. Wow. And there is a couple of other there's now a lot of neat things in My Favorite Husband, starring Lucille Ball. We already know she's been Mandela affected. Another one of her shows has been Mandela affected big time. And I'm on board with you guys in saying that Lucy, You've Got Some Splaining to Do was real. No worries on that one. Used to watch that show all the time on MeTV. Sub-channel. It's a sub-channel on DTV. The digital broadcasting over here on Channel 2. Used to watch it all the time. There's a couple of neat weird ones on Burns and Allen, the radio show, as well as a TV show, apparently. That's its own video, though. Probably with audio clips if I can. The Navy Lark talking about 3D movies, Robin Hood in the 1950s. That's enough for me, man. Come to learn, 3D movies are out before the talkies. FM radio was invented in America in 1933. That's all I need to know. I did a radio report. I did a radio report for school. Got me an A+. Try 60s. Try FM being invented in the 60s. Did you know that The Shadow was actually hosting a love magazine for a little bit? No, look it up. It's real. I've never heard a single clip of audio from it, but it is now in our radio history that The Shadow, who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The Shadow knows. He was on a love magazine show. Now. Nope. Absolutely not. I mean, Hi-Yo Silver also with the Lone Ranger. Thanks for the Memories, the Bob Hope Show. Now just known as Bob Hope. The Jack Benny program. The TV series is still called the Jack Benny program, but the radio series is now called Jack Benny and also the Jack Benny Show. And now most, like 90% of the early episodes are just physically wrecked. Like, all the ones I've heard at least are now earbenders with giant, huge spots of destruction in them. Like huge skip forwards. You missed a chunk of the story, a chunk of the jokes. Uh, there's a couple of oh man. Oh yeah, one last thing also. Apparently, and this one did it for me. Look at the way the look at the way Suspense, the old time radio show, is now written. Look at that. Look it up on Google. Wow. Also, I definitely remember way different quality. Night and day. Night and day. What's better is way better, but what's worse, quality, is earbender now. Is an earbender now. Oh, and one last thing. The entire second half of the spy thriller, Dangerous Assignment, is earbenders, except for maybe 3 or 4 episodes. And there's some weird stuff going on with The Man Called X. I have seen Man Called X, The Man Called X, A Man Called X, and and the whole thing suddenly got extended silence after most of the episodes, and the whole thing when it was brought to you, and the whole series of when it was brought to you by Frigidaire and General Motors, that I had to go in and edit out, and I had to go trim the files one by one so that it didn't have extra silence, so it would go to the next track less than, I'd say, about 3 to 5 minutes before um it would, I mean, there'd just be this trailing silence. And that is not how it was when I first got the series on MP3s. There, and the sound quality is it's clear enough, but it takes some getting used to now. Nothing I could do about the sound quality. It was like certain sounds were causing the whole works to duck. And I didn't know they did that back then. Maybe there was damage, or maybe it's an interesting transfer now. Um oh, in 2000 plus has been hit bad. Mostly sound quality issues. Warping, wrinkling, ear benders, things that sound like they were recorded off of there's a bunch of them now that sound like they were recorded off of a uh little transistor radio and a little cheap tape player with a microphone. And there's a couple of them that now that wasn't how it was back then. Back when I first got them, there's only 1 or 2 of them that were like that. And Tom Corbett's Space Cadet now has a bunch of Canadian episodes in it, whereas it only had a couple of Canadian episodes in it. I mean, it's still the same storyline and the same actors, but the commercials were different and the quality is different, and it talks about being broadcast in Canada now, big difference. And the CBS Radio Mystery Theater has been ramsacked by this thing. Again, sound quality, different stations where the episodes were now broadcast. Still within the same list of stations, a lot of it, but now talking about Contact Cold Medicine being brought to you by Contact Cold Medicine and different stations all over the entire like a lot of different episodes are now on the different stations they were broadcast on, when the main drag of them used to be right out of CBS New York. Now you got Dallas, and you got a whole bunch of other stuff. Got a whole bunch of other stuff. And there's like funky lightning static. Some of them had lightning static, but now the lightning static's all funky, weird, different, strange. And then I had to actually put the whole thing onto my Linux computer and volume level it twice now, because the first time I did it, I made sure that each thing was reasonably since I'm running a little transmitter on the side, a little like I'm out in the other room listening on a little radio, since I don't want to bring all my gear with me. Running a little transmitter on the side. Sometimes when it's sunny out, I'll sit outside in the backyard and listen to it, because it goes okay distance. So I'm sitting outside by the backyard or by the pool listening, and so I want to not have to walk back inside and turn the volume up and down 24/7. So I volume level my OTR shows using something called Easy MP3 Gain, and it works well enough. And it levels them within reason. I mean, some of them are still a tiny bit quieter, a tiny bit louder, but it's not really that much. Like, if you're just listening to it and you don't have like honed hearing like I do, you wouldn't hear a lot of the differences, I don't think. But suddenly we get slow files like crawling speed, especially the things now with Contact in them are now crawling speed. So I have to speed change it, and I'm like, okay, how do I do that? So I have to use an MP3 editor to put the speed, to simply speed and pitch correct it back up to where it was before something slowed it down to like broken tape player speed. Oh my, I've been just pitch and speed correcting so many things lately, and volume leveling and all kinds of stuff. It's just, I've never seen it not hold like that. I mean, I thought that once you corrected it once, it would hold. What does that mean? Can anybody clue me in on what that would be? I mean, this is getting out of control. Oh, and one very last final thing. One very last final thing. Uh, although the show is still called The Mysterious Traveler, my MP3 CD that I got from OTR Cat with the actual picture of the old train on it flipped. The titles all flipped to Mysterious Traveler. and the file folder, the name of the CD itself, flipped to Mysterious Traveler. So I rip it, and I'm not correcting all those episodes, so I just correct it to The Mysterious Traveler the way it was before, after I rip it into the computer. And then I burn it to a CD, and I stick the CD in my 12 holder. I pull out the CD today. It's Mysterious Traveler. What? I look on my SD card, on my MP3 player. Mysterious Traveler. Made from the same CD that I corrected the file folder name back to The Mysterious Traveler, and then burned it back to a white CD and made a copy. Because my OTR Cat CD wasn't as thick as I would like the copy to be that I carry around with me in my CD case when I listen to it. And the white CDs, were whatever brand I got my hands on, were a little thicker, a little more durable. Flips right back to Mysterious Traveler. I'm listening to it. I'm listening to it on my CD player. It's 95% earbenders now. The stories are all intact. Everything's all intact. I look it up online, it still says The Mysterious Traveler. Alright. If anybody can tell me anybody can come up with any valid reasons why the pitch and the speed and the volume changes around, especially at will, it seems. Please tell me. And please tell me if there's any magical remedies you've found to keeping it fixed for more than a week to a month at a time. Because I'm running a little FM station here, and I'm just not thrilled with all this. Oh, and one last thing I heard on a TV commercial, it's the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. Well, you know what I heard the other night on an old, old recording? The best part of waking up is Folgers in the cup. In an American broadcast. I was half asleep when I heard it. I sat bolt upright in bed and I rewound it like 4 separate times, trying to see if I was still groggy. Folgers in the cup. If it's really Folgers in the cup now, then quick, look for it. There's audio evidence, actual Folgers commercials everywhere. This is Metal Steve signing off. Later.